Hey everyone, another Yoke steering wheel. This is like out of control. Everybody wants a new steering wheel for their Tesla, and this one is for the Juniper. TesStudio sent over this really cool, classic looking Yoke for a Juniper. And man, this thing looks good. I'm gonna get some close up here. This is obviously the Nappa black. They sell Nappa white, Alcantara, and I think the white even comes with, you can get it with like the white airbag here too. This is, by the way, this is aftermarket stuff here. I'll put a link to it, but everything from your previous steering wheel, your OEM, gets taken out of that wheel and transferred onto here. So that's why we've got these extras on there. But yeah, this thing is nice. So all the links are below. The discount code is Tesla Mark. Remember it. It gives you the biggest discount and works in all the best places. All right, a Yoke is an entirely different experience. I tell people this all the time. It is just a different car. When you get in it, the first thing you notice is this view. Without the top of the steering wheel here, you would think, well, okay, it doesn't seem like it would be that big of a thing, right? I mean, it's not even half the steering wheel, but it makes a huge difference. It's just not in your eye line any longer. It's just this free, open view. And depending on, you know, how tall you are, how high you sit, you really like it. I don't know how to explain it. This is a Model Y Juniper, so I can't see the hood here in this car. You know, I have to like really put the camera up high here, and I'm kind of tall. But in my Model 3, I can like see kind of more of the hood. Here though, it still opens up. It's like everything is just more forward. It just changes your entire driving experience. Downsides to some people is that, you know, you don't have anything to grab onto. Well, you know, I'm telling you, I got used to it very easily. It was no big deal for me. The coolness factor just like overrode any kind of disadvantage I might have not having the top of my steering wheel. Now look, if you're racing your car around a track or something, you're not even considering a Yoke. But if you're driving around normal person, this is really no big deal in my opinion. Now, TesStudio also sells, I've been doing a ton of videos on different style Yokes, Cyber style, Cybertruck style, and they have bars here, but they're not like round. Now, you might prefer one of those. It's kind of it's a compromise. Check those out. Like I said, I've been doing tons of videos lately. This is a very high quality Yoke. Leather's very good. We went through all of that. You know, highly recommended. The only downside is having to transfer everything from your old steering wheel to your new one. It's not that bad. I go through a full install. Juniper, Model 3 Highland, they're different, but not very much. It's close enough, actually. And also, they kind of keep changing things, too. They change whether they're using Torx screws or Phillips screws, Allen. They move things around a little bit, but the whole principle, everything is basically the same. If you see one of the installs for the Highland 3 or Juniper, you can figure out the other one very simply. Yeah, to me, this is what makes this car really cool. I don't really remember any other cars putting Yokes in them. You know, the Model S started putting Yokes in their cars. And yeah, you know, again, a number of people didn't like it, but that is what made this car unique. And they didn't put them in the Model 3, but there's plenty of these out there to put in your cars and, you know, just really up the ante. All right, so what are you going to need for the install? Torque wrench. You're going to torque the new steering wheel down to like 59 foot-pounds. So you need one that can handle 59 foot-pounds, which is kind of like all of them. To get the old steering wheel off, you're going to need either a long ratchet like this, which is, I don't know, some kind of 18-incher, or maybe some kind of a pipe extension or something for your existing, if you have a smaller ratchet. You will need a 10-millimeter Allen socket. You're not going to be able to do it with just an Allen wrench. You're going to need a socket like this and some kind of an extension to be able to reach into the steering wheel. That's a fairly big Allen socket. A couple screwdrivers just to pry some things. You'll see, no big deal. Torques. There's a bunch of torques in here to change things out. This is a and this little guy is a T6. So yeah, to swap out all the controls in the steering wheel, you're going to need a bunch of these torques. But otherwise, the install is not difficult. It's just, just got to change a bunch of things out. No big deal. All right, step one, I am in the safety menu, power off. Let's get in here. Pushing in, nothing happening. You can feel the tabs. There we go. So that side's out. And this side's out. So here are the posts I was talking about that were being held in by those tabs, and now I need to unplug this yellow plug. Alright, that was easy. Alright, then we've got to get this guy. Alright, I actually had a bit of a hard time getting this one out for some reason, and I had to use this tool to get in here and pry it as I held these clips down like this. So anyway, it should have come out as, like this one did, really easy. Once you get the clips, you just kind of give it a little pull and it comes out. For some reason, this side was stuck a little bit more, but, not that big of a deal. We got to get this big 10mm Allen bolt out, and for this, we've got the big boy. I don't know what this is, 18-inch. Ooh, I'm going to need a little bit more extension to get in there without hitting the steering wheel. If I can do this now. There. Alright, this is not that hard. If you get this, like I said, like this big 18-inch breaker bar, this is a 1/2-inch drive, and it wasn't that hard to get off. But it would have helped to have the steering wheel locked. Look at that sucker. This is actually thread locker, if I'm not mistaken. Basically keeps it from unthreading. Okay, now all we have to do is pull it off. Voila! All right, so we've got to take everything off of your existing steering wheel and put it on the new one. Check this thing out. Before we do that, let's take a look at the size. Now, I've got a number of accessories, let's call them, on the steering wheel. Obviously, a bunch of carbon fiber things. Here, these are just kind of like strap-on deals. These are just extra overlays. All of this is real carbon fiber, though. All of this is really going to get transferred over to the new wheel, except for these pieces here. I've got links to videos where you could look at these things a little bit closer if you'd like. All right, first let's get these guys off. These are T20s, Torx bits. Okay, next we pry this out. All right, this is real small. This is a Torx 9, T9. Recommend getting something like this, magnetic tray. That sucker just dropped right out. Okay, next we're going to take these out. These are T30 Torx bits again. Let's unplug this. Okay, remove this guy, T20. Okay, and then there's some real small screws here again, T9s. All right, I already took this one out of the clip here, but this comes out there, and let's see how much of this comes apart. holding on here? Oh, okay, not much. All right, we have a few more of these T9s. I see them here, here. Get out of the way. Maybe we can leave these in. Okay, now we just unplug these. Okay, these need to be unplugged, and little bump there grabs in there, so I just put a very slim screwdriver in there and pulled it out. This side here. Okay, wow, stripped. Now all we have to do is put everything back. Okay, we'll start right where we left off. Okay, so I'm going to start with this side, and basically I'm just lining up the screw holes here, and you kind of have to push it a little bit just because the leather isn't formed yet. Okay, and then this goes here. Now, both of these are T9s, but they are different sizes. The threads are more coarse on this one, and it's a little bit shorter, and the coarse threads are the first ones we use. They're for these, this, and this. You know what? I'm gonna put the screws in here first. Okay, looking good so far. I'm gonna put this in first just because it'll be easier to do before we put that cover back on. All right, let's plug these guys in now. May as well. And they get clipped into here to hold on to them. Okay, so this wire has to be routed back around here like this and come through here. Same with this side here. Otherwise, this won't go on. If I could keep it together, things are lined up pretty well. So, put these back on. Okay, looking good. Now we can tuck these wires back kind of into the sides here, into these channels. There we go, tuck everything in there nicely. Get this connector to plug back in. Now I think we're set. All right, this is it. It's going in, man. It's exciting. All right, now there are a couple keys in here, so you can't put this on the wrong way. top of that, you got to line it up with the plugs in there. So, all right, so it doesn't feel like it's in all the way, but when we tighten this bolt back up, I think it'll push it in the rest of the way. Let's make sure that this is off again too before I start plugging everything back in. Every time you get out and back in the car and sit down, it turns everything back on. Now, it's better to have a torque wrench. Spec is 59 foot-pounds. Is that 80 Newton meters, if I remember? Okay. There we go. 59, all right. Now we are done with that. And all we have to do now is plug this back in. Oh, of course the car powered back up. Sometimes you just shift your weight in the car and it powers back up. Okay, plug these guys back in. And then this yellow plug that back in. Okay, and then we've just got to line up these 3 pins.